Hey folks, this is a little video I made documenting my journey climbing up Mount Kilimanjaro. So this wasn't a trip that I actually planned for months, but life has a way of surprising you. And my sister was actually heading over to Tanzania with her friend to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and last minute I decided to join them. I had no idea what I was going to get into, but I felt the urge to just kind of send it and push myself beyond my limits. And just like that, I was on a plane to Tanzania ready for an adventure that would essentially changed my life. So start off with the acclimation in Moshi. We arrived at the city called Moshi. It's a small little town next to the edge of Kilimanjaro. And we spent the next few days here adjusting to the high altitude. It was actually a pretty vibrant city, full of life. We kind of went around town and explored for a couple of days. And we can actually kind of feel the difference in the air. It was a little thinner almost. The altitude was kind of noticeable, honestly. And this was just the beginning of a much bigger challenge that was to come. But nonetheless, we were kind of pumped. Day before our trek, our tour guide, Derek and Godfrey, met us up at the hotel to discuss our plan and the logistics of the whole hike. Needless to say, at this moment, I was already pretty excited for the climb that we were about to embark on the next day. Let me get in front of you guys real quick.
Just letting the water drip.
Say hi, everyone.
Hey. Hi.
Say hello.
Hello.
We're out here, very beginning of our hike. It's already tiring. Just kidding, we're runners. Look at that beauty. Day one, the morning of the hike was finally here, and we set off towards Machame Gate. And as we drove closer to the start of our trek, we could feel the change in the environment. It was as if we were entering another world, a lush, dense jungle around us, and the air was thick and humid. The ground was kind of wet from the recent rain, and as we began the hike, it actually started pouring a lot. The rain didn't stop us though. We were too excited to care, so to our delight, we actually saw some monkeys darting out through the trees. They were playing around, and it kind of felt like we were in a jungle almost, kind of walking through a jungle. So we hiked through the rain-soaking jungle, stepped carefully to avoid slipping and whatnot, and essentially made our way to Machame Gate, which was around 9,900 feet in altitude. But by the time we arrived, the rain had stopped and the clouds actually parted ways, and we get to see a glimpse of the peak of Kilimanjaro way out in the distance. It was honestly surreal, and to think that we were already on the path to the summit was unbelievable. Day two, let's get it.
So far. Here we go. Just catch on the way, guys. Pole. Keep
Pole,
on breathe,
pole.
okay? Water for life.
Life is water. Water is life.
Oh.
Alrighty. Day two, let's get started. So, the best part of the day was just the beautiful surroundings, of course, but the fact that we were camping on New Year's Eve. So our little group, we bonded over the New Year's celebration as we counted down to meet the new year, huddled up in our little tent, drinking our hot chocolate. We were kind of exhausted from the day's hike, but there's something magical about greeting New Year's up on the side of a majestic mountain that is just so beautiful. But we made our New Year's wishes and set our goals under the stars, and really felt the camaraderie of our group come together. Okay, guys, I think it's almost time.
So we start from 10.
Wait. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy New Year! Happy
So the next few days, the climb to Mount Kilimanjaro continued, and we went up to the higher camps, and it got tougher as we went up. The air thinned even more, but and the scenery transformed even more. So we went from the open views to the stunning sunsets in Shira Camp, which is about 12,500 feet. We moved through the steep trails towards Barranco Camp, which is about 13,000 feet. And they had a bunch of kind of like meadowish scenery that we walked through.
This is day 3. Steepest slope we've been on so far. Staying at a steady 145 beats per minute. Been in zone 2 for most of the past 2 days. This one's really exerting me. We're at about 4,000 meters in altitude. And the altitude sickness is palpable, but we push through because who's gonna carry the boat? Look at that beauty inside a cloud, literally. Peace.
And around day 4, we got to Karanga Camp, which is 13,500 feet. And the campsite was just enormous. This was the only site along the route that actually had a helicopter pad for rescue. Thankfully, a luxury that we did not have to experience. However, the day wasn't without its drama. I lost my phone, leading to a couple of hours of panic and searching around, only to find it later under my sleeping bag. The exhaustion and altitude sickness slowly started to creep in as well, and my sister was having a migraine. I was feeling kind of weak, but the summit felt closer, which certainly inspired us to just kind of keep going and not get our hopes down. Day 5 is the summit day. So we reached the Barafu camp. It's the final stop before our summit. It's at about 15,300 feet, and the camp was kind of in a rocky, kind of scaly terrain, and it's got views of glaciers, and we finally saw snow for the first time since we had left. And we were now at the heart of the mountain, essentially, and it was starting to kind of feel real.
Go Knowles.
Yeah, man.
The wind was cold. There was a mild little rain, and it was not helping the cold at all.
Making it. Last stretch.
So we rested, we prepared for the midnight ascent, and I went to sleep for a few hours around 6 p.m. And by midnight, we were all gathered in a little tent, laying out our plan for the next gruesome 12 hours of hiking in the freezing, dark slope to finally reach our summit. Knowing the hardest part was about to begin, we scarfed down as much forage and potatoes as we could, and we started off on our ascent. The summit day is actually on day 6, and it was around 1 a.m., only an hour into the summit, and it was already getting brutal. The cold was intense, the air had minimal oxygen, and every step felt super heavy. We were moving at like, I don't know, 2 miles an hour. We felt like slugs. Our heart rate was jumping to 150 beats per minute or higher. My O2 sat on my watch measured 75%, which is wild because 94 or lower, it's kind of a bad sign of hypoxia, essentially. So I was fighting a pounding headache at the time too, but we kept moving, one foot in front of the other, left, right, left, you know.
Been at it for 6 hours. Look at that view. Look at that view. God damn. And we're almost at the last base camp. And then 1 more hour to the peak. We're out here. Look at that. Look at that. breathing about 50% of the oxygen that you guys are breathing at sea level, gasping for air that isn't there.
Something sugar. Take your diamond half in. Okay?
It's another mountain, not as tall as this one. We're gonna go find the peak somewhere over there behind that wall. Look at that beauty though. Golly. Holy smokes. Wow.
The climb honestly felt kind of endless, but at sunrise, we finally reached the summit. And the view from the top was beyond anything I've ever imagined. The glaciers were out on the sides on the left. The world seemed almost endless. Like it was just a phenomenal feeling of euphoria that you get when you're at the top, literally, of the world and looking down at the beauty that Mother Nature provides us with. The sense of accomplishment and relief was honestly overwhelming. I don't think I've ever been that high before, both literally and figuratively. We finally done it. You know, we were standing at 19,341 feet on what they call the roof of Africa. And after hours of hard work, we finally made it to the Uhuru Peak. Day 7 is the descent, and after taking in the incredible views, savoring in the moment, we began going down the mountain. The trek down was quicker, but nonetheless demanding. I became lightheaded on the descent and started stumbling around like I was drunk. And I had to make a quick pit stop, and some carbohydrates saved my life, honestly. We eventually made our way to Waka Camp to rest, and then continue to the gate, where we were greeted with cheers and celebrations, had some beers. It was amazing. We had done what we came to do, you know, climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and it was a bittersweet feeling of exhaustion, yet being proud of the journey that we had undertaken together, you know. Just overall, this trip was just never in my original plans, but it turned out to be one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. From the last minute decision to join my sister and her friend Amanda, to the stunning landscapes and overwhelming sense of achievement on the summit, it was an adventure that I'll carry with me forever, honestly. And Kilimanjaro is more than just a mountain to me at this point. It was a journey of self-discovery, a reminder that sometimes taking a leap is all it takes to experience something extraordinary. And it kind of set off a chain of events for me, where I started really getting into adventurous activities, like running a lot more, marathons, Ironmans, and all that. So I have Mount Kilimanjaro and my sister to thank because of it. Made it this far. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. And don't forget to subscribe, and also go buy your ticket to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Hopefully it's as eventful for you as it was for me.
Fish banana. Yeah.